There's a large amount of garbage thrown away along roadsides in Nebraska every year, and people don't seem to care if they add to that amount every day. The trash is often an eyesore for people, and it is bad for the environment. According to a 2015 article published by the Oklahoma State Extension Service entitled "Controlling Roadside Garbage in Rural Oklahoma," roadside litter can potentially contaminate groundwater as well as many other sources of the environment. This article was written by Nelson, Rod, Cabanis, and Badger. By performing my community activity project, my goal was to find out how to clean these roadsides throughout the state of Nebraska and my community, and to try to stop people from littering to the best of my degree. For my project, I got a group of college students from the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, where I currently go to school, and we picked up trash along a paved county road in northern Lancaster County, my former community. Including myself, there were 6 of us total. One of the others and myself were from the area, and the remainder of the volunteers were from other parts of the state. We picked up trash on a mile and a half of paved road, or a total of 3 miles of road ditches if you count both sides of the roadway. We used plastic bags to collect the garbage, and then hauled the trash to a trash compactor in Davie, Nebraska. We could have left the trash bags on the side of the road for the Lancaster County Department of Roads to come pick them up themselves, but since we had the vehicles there to take care of this trash, we did so ourselves, as the Davie was only about 3 miles away. Throughout this project, I learned a lot about how littered people really believe roadsides are. Many volunteers had never picked up trash before, and these volunteers were amazed at how much trash and litter there really was in the road ditches. Many of them had admitted to me that day that they had littered in their lives, and that many of their parents did so as well. I was happy to hear that all these volunteers said they would never litter again if they could help. Another encouraging thing about this day was that while we were picking up trash, there was a good amount of traffic on the road. The only time I could get a decent amount of people to come and help me pick up litter was on a Saturday, which coincidentally is usually the busiest day for traffic. It seems that this worked to our advantage, as more people saw us working. During 1 hour, we counted as many as 50 cars drive by. Hopefully, by having these commuters see us picking up trash, they didn't throw any litter out of their vehicles while driving, and maybe even decided to do some trash cleanup of their own, or at least got the idea rolling. If I was to do this project again, I would do several things differently. First off, I would attempt to get more volunteers to help me pick up this litter. To do this, I could start asking people earlier than I did for this project. For this, I did ask lots of people if they could help me pick up litter, but many of them had already had plans, or had plans in the making, as I asked them about a month before the date. If I was to do this again, I would probably start asking 2 to 3 months before I was to do this, in hope of finding more volunteers. Another thing I would do differently is to move our location to 14th Street, closer to Lincoln, or west 2 miles on Agnew Road, so it'd be closer to the high school. Now, it always seems to me that the closer you get to the city of Lincoln, the more traffic there is on the road. So therefore, it makes sense to move our pickup closer to the city, and more people would see us performing our act. If we moved it west towards the high school on a weekday afternoon, there would be lots of traffic as school gets out, and then after school activities. So again, more people would see us doing our project. One other thing I would do differently is to have a couple signs made that we could place along the road while we were picking up trash. These signs would have something written on them telling commuters what we were doing, why we were doing it, and encouraging them to do it as well. In the future, my behavior will be a little different in a couple of ways. One, I won't judge someone that I see litter, for I now know that many people simply don't know how littered the road ditches are and what the effect of throwing trash into them is. Many of the volunteers I work with had no clue why there was so much litter in the road ditches, and therefore a good portion of the public probably thinks the same way. Another way my behavior might be different is when I have free time and know of someone who has free time as well, I will go out and pick up trash. Every time I do so, I will have more people see us picking up trash, and will hopefully encourage more people to stop littering or volunteer to pick up trash themselves. And by doing this, we would be cleaning up our community. I would greatly encourage anyone who has the slightest hunch to go out with some friends, family, or others and pick up litter in your communities. It is work, it may not be the most exciting job, but it is important to keep our communities and environment clean. With this said, it doesn't have to be boring. While we were doing this, we had a great time together and felt good doing a good deed for our community. And it's really simple. All you need is an orange vest, a trash bag, and some gloves.